Good morning. My name is Alfred Brock. I'm a city councilman here in the city of Wayne. I'm recording this because I understand that the things that I said last night, in my personal remarks at the end of the city council meeting, were not heard properly by some folks. So I'm going to repeat it here so you could see it and hear it. And this has to do with the treatment of public service workers and all the employees and everybody that works at the city hall and everybody who works for the city of Wayne as an employee, as a professional. Now, we've been given a great gift here in the city of Wayne. We have these hardworking, able, and expert individuals working in our city for us. They work for us, yes, that's correct. They being public servants and dedicated in mind and body to the general good and welfare of us all, who are but strangers to them. We're the people who live here, and they're the folks that some of them live here, but they're the folks that work here and provide services for us that are very, very important. And let's go on with this. Now, who would punish their servant or employee or the professional who labors for them with body, mind, and spirit? I don't know how this all came to be, how it happened that we were provided this wonderful opportunity during these very, very difficult times. Even if everything else was fine, the city was experiencing, as you know, financial difficulties and other difficulties, right? Internal communications between citizens has been an ongoing issue. Now, I don't know how we lucked out and got all these folks working with us, but we did, and they're here, and they're working very hard. I'm astonished by it. A great deal of this occurred because of right thinking, allocation of experience, great caring, and even love. Very dedicated folks worked to create some parts of this. Other parts of it were, I couldn't tell you how it happened, but I'm so glad that it did and that they're here with us. Other parts are due to the choices some people have made in their lives, right? That's what happens. Whether to stay and be part of this team, this powerful team, and the city, this powerful city, or to depart for other things, other adventures and opportunities, okay? So, whatever happened, we ended up right now with a great team. So, what we have now is an assemblage of experts, highly skilled craftspeople, experienced and dedicated women and men, intent not only on doing their jobs, but also focused on doing so to the very best of their ability. So not only have we been fortunate in having these folks work for us, but there's no holding them back as they pursue excellence in their personal careers and their personal lives. It's just amazing. As a result of their exertions, it's a natural result, one might say, but it's just remarkable. As a result of their exertions, we're seeing high productivity and quality of work. It's just amazing. And we are now confronted as a city, as individuals, families, friends, neighbors, with some very serious issues. And I'm not going to talk about those right now. Because I want to address this one serious issue right now that is key to ensuring that we can gain the benefits that we all naturally will accrue by working closely with our fine public servants and individual citizens, organizations, and groups within the community. We all need each other, right? What I'm talking about for this serious issue, this one right here, before we start working on the other things, I'm just going to do this right now so that we can move on and move ahead. I want to talk about the treatment that some of our city workers have to deal with. Now, many of them are trained customer service trained, know how to deal with difficult individuals. And you know, folks come in and they're suffering from pressures, and it's can be confusing and disorienting to have a disagreement with the local government concerning all this talk about distrust of government, et cetera, and so forth, right? And it's very stressful, can be very stressful. They're trained for that, but it's gone beyond that, and got to be pulled back. First of all, the folks that are having difficulty with it, I commiserate with you, right? But you're dealing with professionals who are going to do everything in their power to work with you. So this is a non-threatening group of people that we have here. Welcoming, professional, ready and able to serve. Doing their work in the best way possible. Now, I know the majority of Wayne citizens don't behave that way. They just don't behave that way. You know, got the American values, the Michigan values, the city of Wayne values, Wayne pride, and are willing to discuss things and talk with each other. And a lot of that's been pushed aside because there's some things going on that just should not be happening. And we need to deal with that in some way. Now, the majority of citizens, again, the majority of my neighbors and friends that live here and family that live here in Wayne, they're not going to act that way. They're not going to behave that way. We're well aware that people are people here in Wayne. And we're all in this together. This is very serious. These other serious issues I will be discussing affect large portions of the city. And they're our neighbors, and we need to step up and assist them with their problems. And we can do it. There are ways to do this. But first, we need to address the difficulty of this breakdown of communication. We're just going to talk about it, just going to look at it, and you'll be able to recognize it as it comes out, as you see it. City workers and staff, from the police to the fire department to the EMT teams to office staff, you know, we're talking about finance, to Department of Public Works, to engineering and building and engineering. Everyone that has held this organization together, they are excelling at what they're doing. We're talking about folks that have struggled through these economic times, right? The bleak economic times that surfaced prior to the COVID plague. And now they're working through the plague, standing at their stations, helping people. The work that they're doing is improving the quality of lives of people in the city of Wayne, maintaining the quality of life of the people in Wayne, saving lives so that we can go on and work together to do what needs to be done. And there's considerable work to be done, and we can do it and will do it because this is Wayne. Now, they're deserving of praise and support every day. Praise and support for these folks. Praise and support. Thank goodness they're here. Thank goodness they're doing what they're doing. Thank goodness for them doing what they're doing here in the way that they do it. If there was a competition for this sort of thing, and maybe there is, I don't know, they'd win it. If anybody in the city has a difficulty with a person or some part of the actions of the city that they don't understand, there are plenty of opportunities to address them. The internal setup of the city, which was set up, the internal structure of it was more firmly put in place around the time that it was incorporated as a city and held over from the village. And of course, the general behavior all the way back to 1821, all the way back and before that even, was put in place so that we could talk to each other and solve problems together. Okay? This has always been a place where people work and live together for their common good. The voice of individual citizens was taken into deep consideration by those who founded the city. Deep consideration. And right now, the way it's set up, the voice of the citizens, of individual citizens, is listened to very, very carefully. This places a slight burden on folks because these things are going to be looked at. These things are going to be investigated. And great care is going to be given in any response that's provided back, because it's a two-way street. It's a communication system that's going on here that has been set up. It may have been suspended for some reason, and we need to turn it back on. Let that flow go. I've come to the conclusion about this communication ability that is embedded in the city of Wayne, that is part of our community, by reading documents that have been kept all the way back. Come on down to the museum and see what I'm talking about for real. Now, some things need to be updated, of course, right? And there's ways to do that. Say you don't approve of some ordinance or something like that. There's ways to petition to change the ordinance. There's all within there. Now, there's a path for all of these things that can be addressed. Questions, changes that are desired, improvements, everything. And if there's not one there, there's a path to make a path there. That's what I'm trying to bring out. Now, you're not alone. Nobody's alone in the city of Wayne, and I'll tell you why. Because you can discuss anything you want with your city council representatives. That's what we're here for, okay? And make those bridges with your neighbors if you had. Keep an eye out for each other. Now, finally, getting to the end, these fine people that work in the administration, as staff, as professional workers, as professionals, managerial staff, supervisors, and individual craftsmen and women, and professional investigators and researchers and all this. These fine people did not cause the serious problems that we're going to be addressing after this issue has been discussed. We've got some serious problems, and they didn't cause any of them. In fact, going back to my earlier points about them being exemplary, excellent, and doing their work as they need to do on our behalf, they are dealing with them. They are bringing them forward. They are clearly indicating what the current state is of the affairs that we have been embroiled in. The next steps are up to us. We're going to discuss that. But that's what needs to be done. That's the call to action. I want to bring it out again, lastly, finally, to provide to you the confidence that you can have, that has been provided to you. All the evidence is here. All the heroes are here. The folks are here doing their fine job. These fine people are on our side. They're doing exemplary work on our behalf. It's all about you. Please participate. This is a great city, and great things are going to happen. The city workers are doing and working at a high level of ability. Welcoming them, supporting them, addressing things in an orderly, business-like fashion are going to yield great rewards for you. If you have questions, please ask them, because they're going to be answered. And that's what I wanted to address here, is the treatment of our public servants. They did not cause these problems. They are working to help us correct them. At the very least, they're showing us where they are so that we can take the next step, because that is, in our elected and representative government, our duty. So, have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. Thank you. Bye.